My name is Bailee Higgins, and I am defending the Culex fatigans, otherwise known as the southern house mosquito, or Culex quinquefacius.
My name is Rhett, and I'm defending the Aedes albopictus. This species might also be known as the Asian tiger mosquito. The topic we'll be debating about is danger to humans. We want to know which is more dangerous, the Culex fatigans or the Aedes albopictus.
The Culex fatigans is in the class Insecta and in the order Diptera. Within that, it is in the family Culicidae. Aesthetically, this mosquito has no features that stand out. It is a gray-brown color. One feature that could be used to place this mosquito in the Culicidae family, as apart from the Anophenolae, is the fact that its body stays straight when it blood feeds. With these female mosquitoes, because only females blood feed, they lay an egg batch right after. The females will lay their eggs in a raft formation containing hundreds of eggs. This is usually within standing water. This can be in bird baths, tires, flooded areas, and things like that. This adds to the danger of these mosquitoes because they can lay their eggs almost anywhere there's water, making them hard to control. Once the eggs are hatched, it takes about 5 to 8 days for the larvae to develop through its 4 instars to the adult stage. Once an adult, the males will feed on nectar and females will too until the next blood meal. The females will blood feed, and this is the most dangerous part of this mosquito. The mosquitoes will feed on many different mammals and birds. Because the Culex fatigans is a vector for many dangerous diseases, which includes Wucheria bancrofti, avian malaria, and arboviruses, including St. Louis encephalitis virus, Western equine encephalitis virus, Zika virus, and West Nile virus. This is what makes the mosquito the most dangerous over Aedes albopictus. This disease causes many deaths altogether and have no vaccines.
My species of mosquito is native to parts of Southeast Asia, however they have begun to spread to other parts of the world. They have adapted to rural, suburban, and urban environments. They're able to live in natural environments and also container habitats. They are called the tiger mosquito because of their tiger-like black and white stripes. The males are slightly smaller than the females. The males are not parasitic because they feed on plant nectar. However, the parasitic females need blood to develop their eggs, so they are the most dangerous to humans. This mosquito is possible of hosting many diseases, pathogens, and viruses. There have been 30 documented viruses associated with them, and some of which include the West Nile virus, the chikungunya virus, and dengue fever. There have been some evidence supporting the idea that they're involved in the transmission of the Zika virus. Strains of viruses transmit well through the Asian tiger mosquito, so outbreaks are feared in regions that contain them. The reason they become so dangerous is because of how long their eggs are able to survive. They have cold, hardy, and long-lived eggs, which allows them to be able to survive in very cold and dry environments. The eggs resemble the shape of a cigar and are also able to survive without water for months. They're also able to lay their eggs on the edge of the water instead of in it. They're also very threatening because they are difficult to control and suppress. They breed in standing water and can be found in shady areas when they aren't feeding or looking for a mate. These mosquitoes are able to adapt to different environments very quickly, which allows for them to spread at rapid rates. This insect is a nuisance for most communities and habitats because of its harmful effect on humans and their tendency to be daytime feeders. Since the Asian tiger mosquito has such a rich history of carrying diseases and including their own characteristics, I believe they are more dangerous than the Culex fatigans.
Although the Aedes albopictus does vector diseases, I think the diseases that the Culex fatigans vectors are worse. Yellow fever, which Aedes albopictus vectors, has a vaccine. Dengue fever is most fatal the second time you acquire it, not the first. The survival rates for some of these diseases are much higher compared to the arboviruses the Culex carries. Not only does the Culex carry viruses, but it can carry protozoans like malaria and nematodes.
Aedes albopictus and Culex fatigans actually carry a lot of the same diseases. Aedes albopictus, however, is much more aggressive and harder to control. Even if the diseases are not as dangerous as the Culex, the Asian tiger mosquito overcomes it by being aggressive and biting in the daytime. Since they feed during the daytime, they'll be in more contact with humans. The more they're around humans, the deadlier they become, even if they don't carry as bad of diseases. Aedes albopictus is accountable for the chikungunya epidemic in which 266,000 people were infected and 248 people died. They are also responsible for the chikungunya fever spreading over the European continent. The outbreak started in Ravenna and infected over 200 people. The Asian tiger mosquito has been more of a factor in major outbreaks and has proven to be an extremely dangerous mosquito.
Currently, the chikungunya virus has a death rate of about 1 in 1,000 cases. As opposed to malaria, the most prevalent vector-borne disease, it doesn't seem to be that scary of a disease. Also, Culex fatigans is known for biting at night and going indoors when people are asleep. So this allows the mosquito to blood feed as long as it wants without being disturbed or swatted at. Not only is the Culex fatigan a concern for humans, but animals as well. Mosquitoes can insanguinate animals, and this can affect agriculture and economics of areas. But because the Culex fatigans feeds on animals, it is able to give animals diseases too. This creates another method of obtaining diseases and maintaining a reservoir. A good example of this is Eastern equine encephalitis. This disease can be given to humans and horses from the bite of a Culex fatigans. This disease is maintained in a reservoir mostly of birds because the Culex fatigans has zoonotic behaviors.
Just like the Culex fatigans, Aedes albopictus are implied to feed on cats, dogs, and other mammals. Since they are out in the daytime, they are a nuisance in everyday people's lives because of how aggressive and often they bite. They have been documented as being very aggressive biters, and peak feeding times are during the early morning. All these characteristics make it very hard to control this mosquito.
As said above, both mosquitoes carry dangerous diseases. What sets Culex fatigans apart from Aedes albopictus is the fact that it carries malaria. Malaria is the most prevalent vector-borne disease and maybe even general disease. It kills hundreds of thousands of people a year. Malaria is highly researched for this reason. Measures and tons of money are put into controlling the vector, which include Culex fatigans. This is why it is the most dangerous mosquito.
Zika and West Nile are some of the most dangerous viruses, and both have used this mosquito as a vector. Since these mosquitoes are aggressive and had a history of holding these viruses, there is no reason that they shouldn't be considered a very harmful mosquito. All these characteristics and the fact that they are active during the daytime make this mosquito more dangerous than the Culex fatigans and one of the most dangerous insects in the world.